Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope everybody has had a good start to their week. You're all staying healthy and staying strong. Welcome Murugesan, Akaisha, Shakzoda, Tashkar, Shafika. Nice to see many students in today's class. We are looking at speaking for the IELTS exam. Specifically, we're going to be focusing on speaking part 1, and we're going to practice and discuss some common Band 9 replies for those introductory and general questions that the examiner will ask you while we wait for a few more of your peers. This lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Visit us there. And for the general IELTS, check us out at ieltshelp.com. That's generalieltshelp.com. On both of our websites, we have tons and tons of resources to help you improve your English and your communication. Hi Rashika, hi Jainil, hi Sammy, hi Devansh. Nice to see many of our members in the class as well. All right, Ali, to become, so Ali has a question. Ali says, how do I become a member of the YouTube channel? Ali, to become a member of the channel, click the join button next to the subscribe button. If you don't see that, send me an email because YouTube's a little bit weird when it comes to Apple products. Also in certain countries, it's a little bit trickier. So just send me an email. Our websites look like this. This is our academic IELTS website here at aehelp.com. We are a British Council IELTS Registration Center and certified agents, and you can click that big red button to join our premium package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. Our general IELTS website looks like this with the green background, and again, you can click that big red button. Make sure you're clear on which version of the exam you need to take. We just released a new HD video that discusses how to start your studies for the IELTS exam, so definitely check that out. It talks about those important details. All right. Shukdeep, I will definitely respond to your comments when I see them. I can't respond to everybody, but I will try to grab different students at different times. Just an important resource, students, since this is a speaking class that we're looking at today. When you create a student account at aehelp.com and you log in, you'll have access to computer-based IELTS tests, full online course videos, audio CDs, lots and lots of materials. And you also have this function here. It's called the Student Partner Speaking. So you can click on that and find other students, IELTS students who are looking for speaking partners right now. Vladislav is in here waiting for somebody to chat with. So you can video chat or audio chat. So check that out when you have a moment. It's kind of like Skype, but it's built into the websites. So practice using those. I just saw Carolina, our moderator, is also in this session. Welcome, Carolina. It's good to have you as always. That's fantastic. All right, everyone. So again, websites, aehelp, GIELTS Help. You can download the apps, Academic IELTS Help. It links to aehelp.com. General IELTS Help app will link to gieltshelp.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, IELTS_aehelp and GIELTS Help. And if you have questions, just send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. Okay. So we have a full week of classes from today until Saturday. We've got reading, writing, some Q&A later in the week, for the members, and then also some more speaking. Let's start looking at today's speaking questions. So this is a speaking class, so make sure to speak and repeat. With these speaking classes, I always like to imagine that wherever you are in the world, whether you're in India, in Uzbekistan, in Colombia, in Canada, in Australia, as you are watching this video, as you are hearing these questions, these answers, you're also speaking and repeating with a nice loud voice, okay? These lessons are recorded, so you can always go back later and practice more. If something is too fast, if you miss a piece of information, don't worry. It will be there for you later. Sandro Brocard says, Canada, with an A that's got a accent on it. All right. Okay, everyone. So IELTS speaking, it's kind of the scariest part of the exam because you're being graded by an actual person, examiner in real time. It's important to stay calm, to stay focused, okay? There are a few important steps to do this. One is to get to the exam center early. So arrive to the exam center an hour before your speaking exam. Get comfortable. Talk to strangers. Find other candidates who are at the exam center and speak with them. I know it's COVID. I know it's tricky. We're doing social distancing, but that's fine. Take some questions with you. Keep your mask on. Stay 2 meters apart, but talk to people. Say, hey, I'm here to do the speaking for the IELTS. Are you here to do the speaking? And they'll probably say, yes. And then you can say, could we practice some questions with each other just so that we can get warmed up and feel comfortable and confident? And that will help you to be fluent and to be confident, okay, instead of anxious. So find people at the exam center. They will be outside because they don't let people into the exam center, which is perfect. So find them and talk to them, okay? When you go into the exam center, use English when you register, okay? And when you get called in and you see the examiner, imagine that the examiner is your grandfather or your grandmother. They love you. They want to talk to you. They're not going to judge you. You have to speak loud to them because grandma, grandpa maybe don't hear all that well. You have to speak in full sentences because grandma and grandpa need clear ideas. They're a different generation. So you have to be very expressive. Okay, if you talk about Google Drive, you have to explain that it's a storage space like a filing cabinet where you can put documents and information. Okay, so clear, detailed ideas. All right. Okay, so Jaineel, good luck on your speaking exam tomorrow. Make sure to follow along carefully in today's class, okay? All right, so you get called into your speaking interview. Make sure you go to the washroom, feel relaxed, kind of move your arms around, take a couple of deep breaths. Just focus. You deserve to be there. You paid good money to be there. You're there to do a job. The examiner is there to do a job. Remember, on that day, they will talk to many other students. You're not special, okay? And I don't mean that in a bad way, okay? I mean that in the most polite way. You are special. All of you are special to me. But to the examiner, it's their day job, okay? This is what they do. If you work as a cashier at a store, then you're not going to be greatly involved with every customer that goes across the till. Same kind of thing with the examiners. They're there to do a job. They're supposed to have kind of a neutral, flat, non-emotional expression. And you're there to do a job. You're there to get a high band score, okay? So stick to strategy. What should you have, students? This is an important reminder, and I've kind of ignored talking about this in the last few classes, but what is a good idea to have with you before you go into your speaking exam? Okay, so this is a big tip here for everyone. You should have a small piece of paper or on your phone. I think the paper is better because you won't forget it as easily. With what I like to call a something. What is that? What should you bring with you to your speaking exam? This is a really good little trick. It also will help you to be confident. Okay, what is that? It's a tool. It's a brain tool or a mind tool. Sammy says 2 copies of practice speaking papers. Yeah, that's something good to have, but there's something else that you should have with you. Okay, and some students who've been in my classes for a while should know this. It's a small piece of paper. Carolina says something with the weaknesses. I might have, yeah, Abhishek says a checklist. That's right. What we call a mental checklist. Most importantly, a mental checklist are points to pay attention to. They could be your weaknesses. Like, for example, these are some of the common ones that people forget about. Okay, just bear with me here. These are just some of the common ones. Yours could be different. Okay. All right. So you should have about 5 points, maybe 6, maybe 7, not too many. If you have a lot of points, if you have like 10 or 15 points, it's a problem because you're not going to really remember any of them. So it's better to have about 6, 7 points and make sure that you remember them. Okay? All right. So, for example, use correlative conjunctions. This is one that students commonly forget. So not only, but also, not only do I play the piano, but I also sing. Okay? You should use quantitative language. That means numbers. Okay? So I work out often, at least 4 times a week. Okay, you should always give examples. I like apples. I ate a red apple this morning. All right, so these are points that will help you to perform better in your speaking. And you should have this checklist with you on a piece of paper. And then when you do your registration in the last moments, read over this piece of paper a couple of times to really fixate the information in your head. And then there's a much better chance that you're going to remember to do this during your speaking. So Jaineel, make sure to have this piece of paper ready. Okay, another couple important ones that people often forget is look at notes. during the part 2 speaking time. Okay. And another common one might be something like, give answers, explanations, and examples. It's always a good one to remind yourself of that one. Okay. All right. So that's what you want to do. All right. Make sure you have that. It's called the mental checklist. It's points to pay attention to, especially those that are your weaknesses. Okay. All right. So let's get into today's questions a little bit. We'll practice some of these points as well today. So you finally get into your speaking interview. The examiner will introduce themselves. They will say something like, welcome to the speaking part of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this section. It has 3 parts. I will give you instructions for each. I'm recording this for marking purposes, clerical purposes. The student number is 79321. The exam is being conducted in Rio de Janeiro and the time is 12 o'clock. Now we shall begin. May I see your identification, please? Or they will say, please show me your identification. They don't want to touch it because of COVID. Okay. Arda says, yes, definitely. Here's my ID that I used for registration for this exam. Please have a look. Okay, that works. Nice, fluent answers right away. That's something you could put on your mental checklist, okay? Sammy says, certainly. Here is my ID card, which I used to register for this exam a couple of weeks ago. Please have a look. Oh, just one second. Here are my personal details. Good. Darshan says, yes, of course. Here's my passport that I used to register for the exam. Please have a look. Yeah, showing fluency, showing politeness right away is a great idea. Definitely. Okay. Bakhtior says, I've done my speaking test today. Use the program Speaking Assistance. Those questions was today. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Bakhtior, but they always do have original questions. So, all right. Darshan, just once, okay, in the chat, please. All right. CT12 says, certainly, here's my passport that I used to register. Take a look, please. Okay, CT12, nice, clear, full sentence answers, okay? You have some missing parts there. All right. Arena says, yes, definitely. Here's my passport. Please have a look. Okay, please have a look. Arena is one sentence, all right? You wouldn't emphasize please before have a look. So careful with your intonation as well. All right. Devansh says, yes, certainly. Here's my identification. My proof of identification that I used to register for this exam. All of my personal details are on the first and last page of my passport. Okay, Devansh, careful with your word order. Okay, you don't want to make mistakes. Janelle says, yes, of course. Please wait for a second so I can show you my credentials properly. Yep, here you go. Okay, very nice. All right. May I see your identification, please? Yes, certainly. Here is my ID card that I used for the online registration. Please take a look. Okay, so nice fluent answer. Repeat after me, students. Repeat questions as well. When you're practicing your speaking, repeat questions. May I see your identification, please? Yes, certainly. Here's my ID card that I used for the online registration. Please take a look. Okay, and what is your full name? Okay, nice and fluent. So what is your full name? That's always the next question. You might still be holding your passport when they ask you this. So what is your full name? Arda says, my given name is Arda and my family name is Gurbaz. Please just call me Arda. Okay, Arda, good, nice. It's precise, it's to the point, excellent. Janelle says, my first name is Janelle and my surname is Gabani. Please just call me Jay for short. I'm used to it by my peers. Very nice, Janelle. Sammy says, my full name is Siva Shankar and my surname is Pulavarthi. Please call me by my nickname Sammy. That's what my friends call me, and I'm comfortable with it. Reba says, my full name is Reba Khan. Please just call me by my first name, Reba. That's very good, Reba. Yeah, nice and clear. Okay. All right. Priyanshu says, my full name is Priyanshu Sontake. Please just call me by my first name, Priyanshu. Yeah, nice. Okay. That's how you do it. So my given names are Jeffrey, Andrew, and my surname is Mackenzie. Please just call me Jeff for short. Okay, so if you use a short form of your given name, many people do, then you can say, please just call me something for short. Here we go, repeat after me. So what is your full name? My given names are Jeffrey Andrew, and my surname is Mackenzie. Please just call me Jeff for short. Okay, Jeff, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Where were you born? Okay, so they might ask you this. It's kind of a common introductory icebreaker question. So where were you born? Again, nice full sentence answer for this one as well. Okay. Arda says, I was born in a private hospital in Istanbul, Turkey. Okay, yeah, sure. All right. Sometimes when we're asked, where were you born, we also give the date in 1994. Okay, you might give the date as well. Darshan says, my birth was at Upleta, which is located in Rajkot district of Gujarat, but we moved here to Delhi 5 years later. Darshan, not shifted, moved, okay? Lepe Yan says, I was born and raised in the capital city of Canton Province, Guangzhou, China. It's a vibrant city with beautiful scenery and lovely residents. Okay. Sammy says, I was born in a hospital in Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh, which is in the southern part of India. Wow, a lot of challenging words for me to pronounce, so I hope I'm doing okay. I'm sorry for the mispronunciations. Doing my best. June says, I was born and raised in the city of Shanghai, the largest metropolitan city in China. I stayed there for 23 years before moving to Canada for my graduate studies. June, I made a few corrections there. Careful with that, okay? So I was born and raised. I was born and raised in Victoria, British Columbia. And I have been living here for the past 4 decades. Sure, yeah. So giving the name of the hospital, the city, and also mentioning maybe the time of your birth or how long you have been living there. It's great. Notice, of course, that, hey, it looks like a simple sentence, but I was born and raised in Victoria, British Columbia, and I have been living present perfect progressive, right? So I have been living here for the past 4 decades. So lots of great content, vocabulary, already showing grammatical range and accuracy. So with these warm-up questions, it's kind of your chance to really get into it and get comfortable. So use them. This is where your mental checklist should already be showing, okay? Should be evident that you reminded yourself of these key components. Be fluent, right? Okay. Next question. If you hadn't answered this question with the previous, then the examiner might ask you something like, and where do you live now? Okay. Even if you did hint, like June says, now I live in Canada, you might want to give a little bit more information. Like currently, as I just said, I'm living in Canada. To be more specific, I'm living in Calgary, which is the largest city of the province of Alberta. I live in the suburbs. Okay, so you can go into more details here. Okay, so where do you live now? Okay, Kian Chow says, I live in my house. Okay, give a little bit more information, Kian. So I live in a 3-bedroom house currently in the suburbs of. Okay, so a little bit more specific. Okay. Sammy says, at present, I live in a 2-bedroom flat in Marg Apartments, which is near the beach. Which is near Chennai Beach in Tamil Nadu in India. Omar mostly says, I live in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia now, but hopefully I will be moving to Canada in the next couple of years. Okay, Omar, that's good. Name the city as well. So I'm living here in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, or if you live in Mecca or Riyadh, then say that. Okay. Isabek says, it's quite an interesting question. So nowadays, I live in Tashkent, which is the capital city of Uzbekistan. I'm living in this country because of my career. My work has brought me here. Okay, Isabek, it's good. Quite an interesting question. Yeah, I guess it could be if you've moved around for some interesting reasons. So it's possible. All right. Nick Hill says, I reside in a 2-bedroom apartment on the 6th floor in Pune City, which is located in the western part of India. I've been living here for 7 years or so. Very nice, Nick Hill. Nice use of that present perfect. Devon says, at present, I live in the same place after completing my college graduation. Sachi Dananda says, I'm living in Bhubaneswar, which is a city in India. Okay, a little bit more clarity there, all right? Carlos says, I'm living in Bogota, Colombia. I have been here recently for some work requirements. Yeah, if you mention your work requirements, you might want to mention what it is. So I have been working here as a resident nurse at such and such hospital. Okay. So currently, I am living in the Royal District of Victoria in a 2-bedroom townhouse. I moved here just last year. Okay, so where do you live now? Currently, I'm living in the Royal District of Victoria in a 2-bedroom townhouse. I moved here just last year. Okay, and what do you like about it? So, especially with some examiners, they really like to be conversational with these warm-up questions. So they ask you, where were you born? Where do you live now? What do you like about it? They're kind of all related, and they're trying to see how well you can carry a conversation. And they're also wanting you to feel a bit more comfortable as they go towards those general questions. Okay, so what do you like about it? Okay, Shani Lucala says, well, my hometown is filled with lush green paddy fields and pristine mountains, which paints a picture of prosperity Greenery is something that I really like around my surroundings, and the atmosphere is quite peaceful. Very nice, Shani. Okay, you don't need the ... tots. That's all very clear. So good job. All right. Let's see what a couple other students have as well here. Reba says, the first thing I adore about my city is that the people here are really friendly and welcoming. Secondly, there are plenty of pocket-friendly cafes in my city where I can spend a gala of time with my friends, catching up on old times and having good conversations. Reba, that's nice, okay? That's a nice answer. Okay, Rashika says, Richland is a historic city. There are lots of monumental buildings, such as churches. I adore the atmosphere of the city. There's lots of greenery and fresh air. The evergreen state is the nickname of this part of the world. Okay, Rashika, good. Pagna Pang says, as I have mentioned a moment ago, I can enjoy seeing greenery, breathing in fresh air, and there are lots of historical places that many people desire to visit, such as the old Pentecostal church just down the road from my place. Remember those examples, right? Okay, so what do you like about it? I love that Victoria has lots of greenery and beautiful gardens. In fact, it is globally known as the Garden City. The air is very fresh because the city is surrounded by the Pacific Ocean. The people are generally quite friendly, and the infrastructure is very modern. Okay, so here we go. What do you like about it? Again, repeat. I love that Victoria has lots of greenery and beautiful gardens. In fact, it is globally known as the Garden City. The air is very fresh because the city is surrounded by the Pacific Ocean. The people are generally quite friendly, and the infrastructure is very modern. Okay, so that's what we love about Victoria. All right, now they will get into part one. And part one can really be about anything. So there are lots of different topics that the examiner can choose from, and they will choose, and then they'll introduce the topic. They'll say something like, let's talk about sports. Okay? As soon as they say sports, you identify that topic, and in your brain you should reference a lot of words that come to mind when you think of sports. When you think of sports, what words come to mind? Okay, so your brain should quickly search your vocabulary banks and think about words associated with sports that you will be able to say. Janelle says football. Okay. Retiv, congratulations on your great score. So football, sure, that's a type of sport. What else? Janelle says field. What are some synonyms for sports? Okay, so different types of sports, sure, football, swimming, cricket, field, yep, etc., volleyball. But other than just types of sports, Sammy says fitness, playground, aerobics. Yeah. So fitness is a good word. Yeah, there we go. Nora Mendez says athletics. Very good, Margol. Workout. Carolina says basketball. Yeah, so cardiovascular, weightlifting. Okay. Priyanshu says thrill. Yeah, so having fun, right? Teamwork maybe comes to mind as well. Okay, so your mind should be racing when you hear this topic. Let's talk about sports. And yeah, think about specific sports, but also think about fitness, exercise, workout, cardiovascular, athletics, as somebody mentioned. I saw that. Athlete, sportsman, or sportswoman. Okay, so those words should come to mind. All right. Okay, so then the examiner will ask you a question like, what kind of sports do you enjoy playing? So what kind of sports do you enjoy playing? Again, remember, answer, explain, example. Okay, answer, explain, example. I want you to keep that in mind. All right, so what kind of sports do you enjoy playing? I want you to include all three of these elements. Osman Dolek says, I love traveling, spending time in natural places, not only camping, but also hitchhiking. Osman, that's off topic. It's confusing. Okay, you have to rethink that. You're not going to get a good mark speaking off topic. Hemanth says, I like to play badminton often, as that's my favorite game, but recently I'm not getting enough time to play due to COVID and my academic preparation. Yeah, okay, so you're telling me why you can't play it, but I'm more interested in what you like to play. Okay. Karthik says, I usually play cricket with my friends during weekends. I really enjoy this game while playing with colleagues. Why, Karthik? Why do you enjoy playing cricket? Is it the team spirit, the style of the game? What do you like about it? Okay. Angelo says, I indulge playing football with my friends and family. I occasionally train myself so I can master some skills of passing and shooting goals that are required to be a great footballer. Okay, Angelo, I gave you a little bit more insight there. Again, answer, explain, example. Okay. Reba Khan says, I love playing outdoor sports. My favorite sport is badminton. It actually is a total body workout for me and helps me to stay fit. Every evening I play badminton with my sister and we really have lots of fun. Reba, that's good. Okay, that's much closer to the answer, explain, example. Okay. Prab says, well, I like to play basketball because it's my favorite sport and I play this game on the playground with my friends in the evening. Just yesterday, I played for 2 hours. I shot about 12 baskets and had a great time. Okay, Prab, notice the example that I added to the end of your response to make it more fluent, give more vocabulary, like I shot 12 baskets. Okay, so answering, explaining, example, really, really important. Nick Hill says, I'm really into outdoor games, especially football, since it not only helps me to be healthy, but also keeps me social. In fact, yesterday, I played a game with my friends and shot a couple of goals. Nick Hill, stay on topic. So it's not sports that you like to watch, but it's sports that you like to play. You started okay, but then you started to go kind of off topic, okay? So really stay on topic, students. Don't talk about what sports you like to watch when the question is, what sports do you like playing? Okay? Design Journey says, well, I'm fascinated about sports since my childhood. I often used to play cricket with my siblings and friends because it helps me to stay fit and it helps me release stress. Okay, Design Journey, what sports do you enjoy playing now? Okay, so stay on topic. Okay. All right. So here is what I mean by answer, explain, example. This is your Band 9 answer. This is what you need to copy or do when you're in your IELTS exam. Okay, keep this in mind. So what kind of sports do you enjoy playing? Plural, sports. So I'm not just answering one like football or cricket, but plurals, okay? I enjoy playing both team and individual sports. My favorite team sport is basketball, and my favorite individual sport is tennis. I love the dynamics of these sports. They are fast-paced and action-packed. I played a great game of tennis with my friend James just yesterday. That's my example. Okay, bringing it into the real world makes for great communication. Okay, everybody's clear on that? So here you can see the reflection of the question, enjoy playing, I enjoy playing. I'm using a correlative conjunction to emphasize, so both team and individual sports, so that both and is my correlative. I had that on my mental checklist at the beginning. My favorite team sport is basketball, and my favorite individual sport is tennis, going into details. Why? I love the dynamics of these sports. They are fast-paced and action-packed. Okay, lots going on. And then my example, I played a great game of tennis with my friend James just yesterday. Okay, everybody's got that. Great. Okay, so that's what you're going for to get that Band 9. All right. What are some sports you have never played? Why? Okay, now notice that this is present perfect, have never played. Okay, give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Again, think of example, think of explanation. Those important details. Issa Beck says, I have never played basketball because in this type of sport, a person should be tall and energetic, but I'm lazy and short. And that's the reason I've never played it. Okay, Issa Beck, great answer. Right? It's kind of funny. Thanks for making me laugh. But yeah, sure. So I'm lazy and short. All right. Sammy says, some of the games which I haven't played till now are chess, rugby, snooker, and handball. But now I'm learning to play chess and rugby during my summer vacation through online classes. Okay, Sammy, sounds good. Zia says, the sports which I have never played are hockey, athletics, and some Olympic games due to my studies and due to the environment which has been spoiled because of the pandemic. Okay, all right. Athletics, I'm not sure what that is, Zia. You might have to explain that to me. All right. Amanjot says, well, in this category, football and some water sports like swimming are included that I've never tried yet, but I will definitely give these a shot in the future if I get the chance. All right, Amanjot. Ali Mohammadi says, I have tried to play tennis, but it's an exercise that I will have to leave for the future because recently I've moved to a new place. And there are no tennis courts, okay? Ali, so sports that you haven't played, okay? So don't start talking about sports that you're just starting to try or just starting to play, okay? All right. Arena says, well, I have never played tennis and basketball because I didn't get any chance to play these. If I do get the chance, I will definitely try them. Okay? Yeah, sure. So what are some sports you have never played? I have never played hockey because it is not a popular sport in my country, and there are no ice rinks in my nearby vicinity. Also, I have never tried water polo because I'm not very good at wading water. Okay. All right. So what are some sports you have never played and why? I have never played hockey because it is not a popular sport in my country, and there are no ice rinks in my nearby vicinity. Also, I have never tried water polo because I'm not very good at wading in water. Wading in water means staying in one place and swimming. Obviously, it's not true because hockey is very popular in Canada. But again, IELTS is not about the truth. It's about giving good answers, okay? Giving good, believable answers. If you're doing the exam in Canada, you might want to add, it's not popular sport in my country where I grew up, which is, okay? So add those, all right? Okay. Next question. Do you prefer team sports or individual sports? Why? Now, if you've discussed this, then make a connection. If you haven't, then give a clear explanation. All right, Isabek says, well, to be honest, I adore both types of sports because they have their positives and negative sides. Like team sports, I can have companions who help me. Isabek, not you, but me. Okay, use me, my, I. Okay, in team sports, I get to socialize, and in individual sports, I get to take the glory of the win all for myself. All right. Yeah, Hutchin, you can say that you like both, but you have to clearly explain it, okay? Now, the reason that Carolina is removing some of these comments is because you're pasting them over and over again into the chat, and it's spamming the chat. So students, please only put your answer in once, okay? To be fair with everyone. All right. Nick Hill says, even though I've played both team and individual sports, I mostly prefer group sports since it helps me to socialize with others and learn lots of strategies from them as well. Okay, good answer, Nick Hill. Yeah. Okay. Daniel says, I prefer team sports such as basketball because they require both athleticism and IQ, as it has more complexity. Okay. Zohra says, I love to be a part of a team when playing sports because it's a lot funner than playing alone, and it helps to teach me to become helpful and supportive to others, especially when the team shares the same goals. Zohra, I enhanced your answer a little bit, so go back and listen to that at some time, okay? All right? Again, just once in the chat, everyone. All right, so as I had just previously mentioned, I do like both. I do like to play both group and individual sports. I like team sports because I get to interact with my teammates and share in the fun. And I like to play solo as well because I can take all of the glory of the win and not worry about losing because another player is making mistakes. Okay. So here we go. Do you prefer team sports or individual sports? Why? As I had just previously mentioned, I like to play both group and individual sports. I like team sports because I get to interact with my teammates and share in the fun. And I like to play solo as well because I can take all of the glory of the win and not worry about losing because another player's making mistakes. Answer, explanation, high band score. Okay, that's what you have to keep in mind. All right. Couple more questions here. Why do you think people play sports? And what is the most popular sport in your country? And why do people like this sport? I will let you tackle these last couple of questions in your own time. You can use the websites for practicing. Again, remember, we have our websites gieltshelp.com. You can join our premium package here by clicking that red button. Same thing for ahelp.com. And once you're logged in, you have this student partner speaking. Okay, click on that and then accept the terms, which means that you're going to be polite and be nice to others. And then you'll find people in there right now. Mohammed is in there. And Pravina is in here, and you can video and audio chat. So practice those questions amongst yourselves, and remember the mental checklist before you go into your speaking exam. Jaineel, remember that tomorrow when you go into your speaking exam. And again, get our apps, Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. I will be back tomorrow at the same time with a Task 2 question that was submitted by one of our students. We'll be looking at that with everyone. And before that, we'll be doing a reading class and practice with our members. That's it for today, everyone. Carolina, thank you for moderating the chat, keeping it clean and efficient. Eugen, thank you for those emojis to make everybody smile and be happy. And hopefully everybody has a fantastic rest of your day. Keep up the good work. Chin up, upward and onward. Much love to all of you. I'm Adrian signing out from beautiful Victoria for now. See you all tomorrow. Bye.